years. It simply means that some people are going to actually fill in the gap, the hole created by these rogues that they have chased away. And they will pretend to be on the side of people for a while. And then the whole thing will change again. Everybody's back to square one, looting, stealing, and all that. I am not wishing that on you in Nepal, but I have seen that happen severally, where one set of criminals are chased away, only to be replaced by even more deadlier, more corrupt criminals. I've seen that happen before. And I've seen where people are unable to stage the same level of revolution that can easily replace them. I've seen that too. So I wish you all the best. Now let's go back to Nigeria. Yesterday, right? Dino, okay, was on one of these Arise programs. And they were talking about the contraption, like, where have you been? Dino said, well, I have been getting my law degree because I didn't want Nigeria to happen to me. Because if they knew that I was getting a degree, they might have probably done something to make sure that I never got a degree. I never become a lawyer. Anyway, that's just a preamble. However, talking about the state of the contraption, starting from his own party, PDP, which it's no longer in PDP. He resigned. He's now a member of the coalition for Atiku, and he believes that anyone who is telling you that they want to resurrect a PDP, they are just playing with your emotion, because PDP is dead. And in his word, let me show you his words.
Yeah, apart from our Lord Jesus Christ, no dead can rise again. And I want to tell you that whatever you are saying is makeshift.
In PDP?
The dead is dead. We can only advertise the obituary.
You're not saying PDP is dead. I mean, is that what you're saying?
Dead and buried. PDP was sold. And I'm not sure if they got the receipt of payment, but it was sold. And what you have now is APC-controlled PDP.
Why do you say that?
Because that is what it is.
How?
That is what it is.
How?
It is a party that is being controlled from the villa. I've said that in my last interview, that as far as we're concerned, it is the agents of the APC that control the PDP. And I would not really want this meeting and discussion this evening to be about the PDP. Let's talk about the living.
No, you can't dodge talking about PDP, because as far as they're concerned, their what do you call it? Their
allow the dead to bury their
convention is coming up.
Allow the dead to bury their dead.
I had some of them here on the program, yes. And I repeated what Makinde said. Makinde said, let's have a party first, like it was there. And they said, no. So now they have.
So if a sitting governor is saying, let's have a party first.
No, he explained that.
So meaning that there's no party.
No, he explained that.
So I want to appeal to you.
He said
there are critical issues bedeviling this country. There are issues of hunger out there. There are issues of malnutrition out there. There are issues of misgovernance, maladministration out there. Those are the issues I think we should discuss. PDP is a political party. I'm not a member anymore.
And you're not going back.
I mean...
So where are you now? Are you, after the introduction, are you with the ADC?
I'm a proud member of the ADC.
And you think ADC...
And that is the party that will unseat Tinubu and by the grace of God, send APC out of the villa. Yeah, apart from our Lord Jesus...
Dino is back. Because in case if you don't know, right now, all the old takers and the new takers, they are already shining their, I wanted to say soccer boots, but I would say battle boots, shining their different tools that they are going to deploy ahead of your 2027 charade. So don't be surprised as the year runs out and you get into the new year. Tinubu and his gang are going to invest more of their time, like they have already been doing from day one, on his re-election. Sure you get. And therefore, your political space is going to be saturated with all kinds of these characters dropping their different takes. And sadly, most of their takes will be true, but at the same time, ambiguous. Because behind all they say, right, is one thing, and that is their desire to replace the current rogues, as most of them have been displaying recently. Staying out of power makes them see the failure of the country, and suddenly they think they could do it better um, outside the government if they are given the chance to go back in. But I'll keep reminding you, in their trade, right, in this business, right, you are actually the commodity. The people who somehow continue to entertain them as like you have no real choice, sort of. Tinubu and his gang continue to lie to millions of people in Nigeria because they couldn't really explain how the policy that they are patting themselves on the back for, clapping for themselves, Baba, organizing awards for themselves that they have done so well with Tinubu's reforms. The people are still living in a such like a hard place. But what APC Egbekegbe is now telling everybody is that it will take time before they will feel it. And there is no rush. We need to give Tinubu some time for his policy to reflect on your lives. While others are saying, what time? Like, if you like, give him like 10, 20 years, the result will be the same. And they will continue to possibly tell you that it is better than how it was 20 years ago. Even when you, the living witness, can really see that. So they are busy with that. Oh, we've got so much money. They continue to talk about investors. Investors this, investors that, investors Sabinus. Investors Sabi. Because APC, Egbekegbe's investors are imaginary, in which, severally they've come out to announce that, they signed this particular deal of billion. And these people will come back and say, no, we didn't sign any kind of, we didn't sign that kind of a deal. And shamelessly, they will pretend that it's nothing. They'll move on. As they say that you can't shame the shameless. The effect of Tinubu's actions and inactions and that of those who are with him are what you are feeling in the country. Any other explanation outside that is just a fallacy. And in that respect, the oppositions are building their own defense, or should we say their own argument of why they are probably better, not like they are presenting anything to contrary. And I will explain that too. But still, they are building on the failure of this Tinubu and his gang, right? To tell you that they could do better. What of the questions you should be asking them now before you jump from frying pan to fire or what have you again, like you did in 2015, would be one thing. Would they come back and restore that subsidy and remove this scam, which is them paying themselves in the truest sense of it? Would the government after Tinubu restore that and help you crash the cost of living crisis? At what cost would that be? With the cost of giving you back your subsidy, right? Outweigh the cost of maintaining these overfed pigs? Do you think? No? Anyway, Omoyele Sowore has been the only person who has been very clean and is not even like speaking in parables. It will return the subsidy because the reason why they told you it's not affordable is simply because these guys are so cold-hearted, so criminally minded, right? That they could actually package a poison for you and tell you that this is one special yogurt just for you to live long. And then they will do so smiling, knowing that a lot of you will die, but they will make money. And in the long run, they believe that the survivors may likely not even remember that they did that to them. This is how they are. And there are those who claim to be educated enough, living in different countries where most of their own stuffs are partly subsidized too, are there, so Tinubu and his gang continue to lie to the people while they continue to dig the country into more debt. They've told Nigerians that debt is good. There's nothing bad in debt. We have more money in the foreign reserve, or we give more money to the state. Oh, but yet Nigeria became more indebted in 2 years than she was in 8 years of the 8 years of the low cost of Bokuwari. So if Tinubu has his own 8 years, the question should be, how many of you will people will still survive? How many would have to die needlessly? Just asking. So Kennedy Dino was talking about Tinubu's borrowing, problems. So he said the way Tinubu is going, it is obvious that with time, Tinubu will borrow money from Money Point and OPay. I don't know, right? Dino, like I said, he's back.
Took his oath of office. Before even getting to the office to ask questions, he removed subsidy. And that is the reason we are where we are today. He did the right thing in the wrong way. He did the right thing, but in the wrong way.
What would have been the right way?
The right way would have been, what Tinubu did is likened to a surgeon who performed a very successful operation. Very successful operation, but the patient died. He had a very successful operation, but the patient died.
If he was successful.
So what I'm saying in essence is that removal of subsidy is the right thing to do. But when? How? Matters. He removed subsidy without planning. And when you are going to organize a surgery on any patient, one, you prepare the patient. Two, there are precautionary measures that you must put in place. At times, you even have to ask the patient to take water. At times, you need to say, okay, eat. At times, you need to say, okay, let's place you on some medications. At times, you say, okay, let us sedate the patient. Then there's also room for recovery immediately after surgery. But to just take a patient to the surgery room, butcher this patient, and at the end of the day, the patient will not survive. That is exactly what Tinubu did. There was no planning. There was no succor. There were no buffers. No ameliorative measures. He's even yet to get to office. He has not even gotten to office to even see what inside the office of the president looks like, or take brief on subsidy directly from those who know, without, just unceremoniously. Even before you get to your office, you commit that kind of, and that is what created the chaos we are facing today. And today, Nigerians are not only unhappy, but I can tell you, I'm a grassroots person, that there is massive hunger in the land.
The president just said the other day that from January to August 2025, total collections reached. That the administration has achieved their revenue target. That's something to smile about. It says from January to, I'm coming, let me land. From January to August 2025, total collections reached 20.59 trillion naira, a 40.5% increase from 14.6 trillion recorded in 2024.
If that statistic is correct, why is the president borrowing 1.7 billion from World Bank?
He also said that they have stopped borrowing.
Maybe that is not correct. I just gave you that figure now. Why is the president, why did he borrow $1.7 billion from the World Bank? Why, as the Senate, approved $21 billion so far, and with many others coming for consideration? Many others are still coming for consideration. And this government is one of the most reckless governments in the history of this country.
How do you mean?
The president who said he wanted to come and curb wastages bought a yacht. That yacht that the president bought has never been to the perimeter, territorial area of Nigeria. It's between Monaco and Paris. And what do we need a yacht for? In a time of austerity, in a time of pervasive hunger like this? The president also, within few months in office, bought a presidential jet that cost Nigeria billions.
No, he said it was a gift.
I am telling you that it was purchased. Gift by who? Gifts are to be declared. Gifts are to be declared. A president who gets a gift, why was Tom David West removed from office? It was because he got a gift of a gold wristwatch that was not declared. If you have a gift, declare who gave it to you. And they called it a gift because that's the money used in the purchase of that aircraft was not appropriated by the National Assembly. That is why it was tagged a gift. Then again, since Tafawa Balewa, Azikiwe, up down to Buhari, every president and prime minister in this country used Mercedes-Benz S-Class as their official vehicle. The president is using a bomb jammer Mercedes-Benz, the same type that Trump is using in America. And you say you want to curb wastages?
But you know, you're not different. Hold on, Dino.
If you allow me,
hold on.
I don't want my thoughts distorted on this particular line.
Okay.
And again, the same president, in the 8th Senate, the budget of the National Assembly was 150 billion. From 150 billion, today the president have increased the budget of the National Assembly to over 370 billion in order to make them a parastatal or department of the villa. So a president who said he was coming to curb wastages, who said he was coming to renew hope. I can catalog all this. Bought a yacht, bought a Cadillac, bought an aircraft, increased the money of the National Assembly, and I've borrowed like no other president in history. If you are making more money, then why are you borrowing?
Well,
to the extent that the Speaker of the House of Representatives today,
I read it. He was
is also concerned, despite he's a member of the APC.
I read that he was talking about.
And
how
we will not be surprised if the president starts borrowing from OPE and money points very soon.
Well, Senator
took.
Dino. Oh, let me land. I don't want you to interrupt my line of presentation. It's not too wrong, but those are the common things that you should consider whenever you are listening to the rogues that removed education subsidy on education and increased the school fees by over 500%, in some cases by over 800%. And then they are offering you student loans. Do you understand? So, but they are living large enough, right? That I never thought of it too. I've always wanted to ask about the yacht. I don't know if I should believe Dino, except for the first time I am hearing from him that same controversial yacht, right, has never been to Nigeria. So Tinubu and his gang have been using that in France, from Paris to Monaco to Paris. Hi. I'm waiting for the time they will probably take pictures on it, because you know them now. Once they take those sewage dwellers that they put suit and tie on, right? They may take pictures and show us just to let you see that, see the life with a chop for here. right?